Leah Michelle. It's March 24th, 2017. We want to bring you the data dump.
Wiretap. Okay, so we haven't covered this yet, which is great because now we have amassed from beginning till now on the Devin Nunes unmasking of unmasking. Let's just put it that way. So
That's
what's happened is there was a guy who had this list that the NSA and government agencies have been going after and collecting data. Maybe some of it was incidentally collected about Trump. Now, Devin Nunes was so concerned about this that he took it straight to Donald Trump. Well, everybody on the left, Democrats, are saying it was partisan, he made a huge mistake, maybe he should step down. So we're going to go in depth to this. We're going to show you how Alex Jones actually has the list, the names on it. Alex Jones is even on this list. It's crazy. So anyways, I want to go to the first thing that happened. This was the shocking press conference, and everybody's like jaw-dropped. Headlines were Trump is vindicated, and even Trump came back, and people were asking him, do you feel vindicated? And he's like, well, not really, but okay, I'll take it.
Good morning, or everyone. As promised, I'm going to continue to keep you apprised of new developments. Some significant developments, I think, occurred over the course of the last few days with information that was brought to my attention. And I'm going to just sort of read a very brief statement, and that's about all I can tell you, but I want to keep you fully informed of what's happening. At our open hearing on Monday, I encouraged anyone who has information about relative topics, including surveillance on President-elect Trump or his transition team, to come forward and speak to the House Intelligence Committee. I also said that while there was not a physical wiretap of Trump Tower, I was concerned that other surveillance activities were used against President Trump and his associates. So first, I recently confirmed that on numerous occasions, the intelligence community incidentally collected information about U.S. citizens involved in the Trump transition. Details about U.S. persons associated with the incoming administration, details with little or no apparent foreign intelligence value, were widely disseminated in intelligence community reporting. Third, I have confirmed that additional names of Trump transition team members were unmasked.
Oops.
And fourth and finally, I want to be clear, none of this surveillance was related to Russia or the investigation of Russian activities or of the Trump team. The House Intelligence Committee will thoroughly investigate surveillance and its subsequent dissemination to determine a few things here that I want to read off. Who was aware of it? Why it was not disclosed to Congress? Who requested and authorized the additional unmasking? Whether anyone directed the intelligence community to focus on Trump associates? And whether any laws, regulations, or procedures were violated. I've asked the directors of FBI, NSA, and CIA to expeditiously comply with my March 15th letter that you all received a couple weeks ago, and to provide a full account of these surveillance activities. I informed Speaker Ryan this morning of this new information, and I will be going to the White House this afternoon to share what I know with the President and his team. Before I get to questions, I want to say that, as you know, there's
Okay, so one of the things I read was that Paul Ryan actually was the guy who told Nunes to go to President Trump. And of course, listen, if there's a deep state thing going on, the rats are crying. They're screaming right now.
Right.
Help me. Why is this happening? They keep asking us. You know what I mean? They're like, why is our global plan coming undone?
Yeah.
Why is this happening to us? They just don't know.
While the rest of us are cheering.
Chuck
going,
Schumer,
"This is
Nancy
inevitable."
Pelosi,
Yeah.
Obama, Hillary Clinton, they're all going around like, why is this happening? What is it doing? I'm telling you, it's Jesus.
I was just gonna say the same thing. Stole my line, man. Say it again.
Jesus. Okay, so
Jesus.
how House Intelligence Committee Chairman, that's Devin Nunes, he's from California, Republican, said on Wednesday that members of the Trump transition team were under surveillance in the final months of the Obama administration. So this is a tweet by Eric Geller. Whoa! At Presser, Nunes just revealed IC collected info about Americans associated with Trump transition team separate from Russian probe. I love tweets. I love reading tweets. They're just awesome because you have to say a lot, like really short. Nunes says most of this surveillance apparently happened in November, December, January during transition.
Ooh.
Information gathered during the surveillance, which Nunes said appeared to be legal and incidental. WikiLeaks actually was where I first heard about it. Incidental, right? Was unrelated to allegations of Russian collusion, but nonetheless widely disseminated within the government. Okay, so then here again, Trump's communications were collected as part of the surveillance. Nunes says, adds that it looks like incidental collection. Then Geller goes on. This appears to be all legally collected foreign intelligence under FISA, says material was widely disseminated. FISA, you have to actually go to a FISA court to get this information, right? So Trump's like, FISA, it's all like, it didn't happen. Where's the FISA thing? It's you know what I mean? Okay. Nunes again says the surveillance he's discussing right now was completely separate from the Russian probe, meaning this was actually information that was given to him by somebody else. This is not the Russian probe. They didn't discover this. This was like when people give to WikiLeaks something, right? Okay, so I recently confirmed that on numerous occasions the intelligence community collected information on U.S. individuals involved in the Trump transition. How in the world did we get Flynn's phone calls? Mm-hmm. It's just...
It was all incidental.
Incidental, right. Oh, it just so happened. Nunes says material collected was significant information about Trump and transition team. So significant that he's like, I gotta go to the president now.
Right.
Bam, I gotta go, right? Nunes, I know there was incidental collection regarding the president-elect and his team. Doesn't know if surveillance was of phone calls. As others, including somebody else known, Nunes initially said Trump's comments were directly collected. Communications. See, it's Twitter speak. Collected, but has since walked back. Okay, so details about U.S. persons involved in the incoming administration with little or no apparent foreign intelligence value were widely disseminated. So we're going to go ahead and go to...
Can I say something?
We're changing her name to Patriot Mama or the Patriot Gallery. Isn't that so much cool? The Patriot Gallery would like to speak up.
Well, Obama and Clinton, Matt Walters, what's her name? Somebody Walters, Pelosi, whatever their names are.
Maxine.
I don't
the
know.
crazy lady.
Yeah.
Super crazy.
Anyways, they're pathological liars.
Right.
We've caught them in so many lies.
Maxine.
Okay, and you said they're wondering what's happening. What's happening? Why are we fought? And you say Jesus, and Michelle says Jesus, and we know from the Bible that Jesus is the truth.
Right.
And the Holy Spirit's the truth. So what's happening? They cover up crimes. They cover up things. They're in all these cover-ups.
Things are coming to the light. Your lies have been
Jesus is the light.
exposed.
God is the light. It's the truth, and it's Jesus. So that's what's happening.
Mama Patriot.
First of all, I guess just a direct question. Was President Trump picked up himself in this incidental collection, or was he not?
In the reports that I reviewed, it does appear like incidentally he could have been picked up.
Word.
Okay, so until we actually get these reports and get an explanation from the appropriate agencies, we won't know the answer to that. But clearly, there is a lot of information in the reports that I've seen, which were dozens, that would lead me to believe that the last administration and numerous agencies had a pretty good idea of what President-elect Trump was up to and what his transition team
hang on,
was.
though.
It's called spying. It's called spying. Okay, here's the thing. If you incidentally are collecting on the incoming president, do you think that those are just going to be put on a top shelf, shelf somewhere and never going to be looked at? They were spying all day, every day. All day they were looking. They needed something with Vladimir Putin. They needed anything. That's why they keep going back to the stupid tax returns, so there ain't nothing else to get to.
If you guys were the Democratic Party, you would just be stupid to not have been trying to spy on Donald Trump and take him down before the inauguration.
Right.
They were scrambling,
Right.
willing to do illegal things, which they're always willing to do illegal
Right.
things, but willing to do things that they know eventually they're going to get caught. But what I wanted you to stop this for was because he said that they really did have so much information. They had the information, knowing, even if it was incidental, the fact that they were collecting it and the former administration had this information. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you walk in on something and you weren't supposed to see it, you just kind of back away and walk away and just like, don't keep going back. You know? Just keep
some of
going
this
back.
is, I think, legitimate
More of that
collection.
incidental.
But some of it, I think it bothered me enough that I went over to the White House because I think the president needs to see these reports for himself.
Oh, first of all,
So there you have it. All right. Nunes said the information was legally brought to him by sources who thought we should know it,
Good.
and
Good
that
call.
he could not confirm if Trump himself was under surveillance. The Republican lawmaker also could not confirm whether the information collected had any connection to Trump Tower.
What I've read seems to me to be some level of surveillance activity, perhaps legal, but I don't know that it's right, and I don't know that the American people would be comfortable with what I've read. But let us get all the reports.
The president was correct in what he tweeted.
It is possible.
I think that question was the president correct in what he tweeted?
It's possible. Okay, so again, Geller says Nunes says he's spoken to CIA Director Pompeo and NSA Director Rogers about this, waiting to talk to Comey. He's going to White House after votes. I think we'll maybe cut this into two parts, where I'm going to show you that he's actually going to call Comey again to testify. And one of the questions is, do you believe he was not truthful? And he says, well, we're going to ask him some more questions, right? So, seems like Spicer has no details on Nunes' presser on surveillance. I literally heard the statement came out and was briefed. Given that Nunes described the surveillance as unrelated to the Russia inquiry and incidental, the allegations may stir debate on the vast amounts of data captured by mass surveillance program. So, responding to the news, Trump said on Wednesday he felt vindicated. I very much appreciate the fact that they found what they found. As revealed by InfoWars earlier this week, Trump and members of his business and family had their information collected. So this is the one I was talking about when I said that
The big data dump.
the big data dump. So these are two. Alex Jones has a data dump that was collected
In his hands.
that was collected between 2004 and 2010 under the NSA metadata program. And Jones is like, there are numbers in there that nobody knew. There were addresses in there, secret addresses that nobody knew. It's just crazy. It's crazy that they would have these things and these numbers, right?
Are we going to play that?
Yeah, I'm gonna play some pieces of this
Okay.
of one of them.
Okay.
The data shared widely throughout the government was provided to InfoWars by law enforcement sources with access to the data. Okay, so I think there was that one, and then I think this is the one I want to play.
Now, going to Dr. Horsey, formerly WorldNet Daily, great outfit as well, 3-time #1 New York Times bestseller, author, just award-winning investigative journalist, Harvard expert, of course, on finance and more, State Department, anti-terrorism. We'll just leave it at that. Dr. Horsey, I've never, in my 22 years, I've never been such a whirlwind of breaking info. In the real media, this is a firestorm, but outside of it, zero, crickets.
Well, first of all, what we did last night in terms of showing that Donald Trump was wiretapped starting in 2004 and producing that evidence has gone viral. Now, the mainstream media, I think, is really at a loss for how to respond to this because it beats their narrative. The phone numbers on that list are authentic. There are phone numbers including Donald Trump's cell phone, his employees, his family. His wife was being wiretapped. This all comes from Operation Dragnet, which was an NSA operation. I think is still probably going on. I don't know if they ever really ended it. And it ends, Comey is sitting in front of the House Intelligence Committee parsing words. He's saying, I don't have any evidence that Obama ordered the wiretapping. Well, the point is, under the law, the president doesn't order the wiretapping. If somebody had asked Comey, FBI director, well, in fact, was Donald Trump wiretapped in this period of time, Comey'd have to say yes, of course. You didn't ask me that question. You just asked me if Obama ordered it. Well, you know, Obama not ordering it is kind of like the Watergate defense when Richard Nixon said, I didn't order the break-in. You know, he still was impeached because he was in the process of being impeached because he, you know, did not and would not fess up to his responsibility for encouraging his operatives to wiretap.
That's right. Let's be clear. That's key. The Republicans and Democrats are all out to get Trump up there. They're all parsing words and pre-scripted stuff with Comey. It's totally clear, giving him the softball questions to get out of the answering truthfully.
Yeah, it's truthfully disinformation. Because Comey knows that Trump was wiretapped and extensively since 2004. That it went on during the Obama administration. We have no indication it ever quit. You know, we have Trump's cell phone numbers, his family numbers, his employee numbers, all these different locations. It's a farce. And Comey knows it's a farce. What they won't do is they won't expose the fact there's massive illegal activity that's been going on in the NSA and in the Department of Justice over wiretapping and other surveillance of individual Americans, millions and millions.
I'm sorry.
With the data collected, not just metadata, but the data collected of conversations, emails, financial records, credit card records.
Sure, and let me expose this as well. Newsmax, Larry Klayman. Nunes must ask FBI's Comey about Montgomery mass surveillance case. That's what was brought to Arpaio and others. That's where the documents come from. We've checked the numbers, checked it all. It is an NSA system similar to the ones they're using in the DEA with access to the NSA database. That all came out in the parallel production, parallel structuring cases where they are pretending like they're not illegally spying via the NSA and then going and parallel construction, creating new fake cases based on the illegally obtained surveillance. We're going to link to this Newsmax story in our article as well. But this is so huge that, again, they would say they're surveilling Trump and have the proof. Trump goes, well, it's illegal to say you had that. He has them. Dead to rights, it's felonies, those felony leaks. And they've asked those questions today, and the NSA director admitted that. That's very serious. Then they turn around and say, okay, we never had the evidence, plus we weren't surveilling, you're crazy. And then the media acts like Trump's been caught in something. It's insane.
And also, look, what we have on today, the new article we just broke, where we have, in fact, today we're able to publish the phone numbers and the IP addresses because this document was made public in a federal court. And by the way, no one in the federal government's ever come by to repudiate this. It's been offered, say, please prove this is false. They haven't done it. They haven't done it with the database from Montgomery that we revealed yesterday. Now, what this shows is the Department of Justice, when they were prosecuting Sheriff Arpaio, were also wiretapping and talking to the judge. Department of Justice was calling and speaking with Judge Murray Snow, who was the judge who was put in to handle the case, even though he'd made very derogatory statements.
No. Let's talk about how Arpaio got this information.
Well, again, this is all was created. What they did is they asked Montgomery to basically go in and reconstruct what was happening in the case. And this was put together by the same whistleblower who said, you want to know what's happening? The DOJ is talking to the judge. Here are the phone numbers that are being used. You can see the phone numbers from Washington calling the Department of Justice into the judge's office.
Just to let you know, that guy was the guy who was investigating Obama's birth certificate. So that was a really big deal there. I'm going to go ahead and stop this one here and link this video so that you guys can watch it. I want you to stay with us because what I'm going to bring up next is Sean Hannity has Devin Nunes on his show to talk about this. It's a really big deal. Obama is working in a deep state action to overthrow Donald Trump.
And I don't think that at this point, I mean, for those of us that know that there's any question about that, and they're kind of coming out overtly. And if you watch Alex Jones, you'll hear him say that there are several people that are coming out literally saying, we need to figure out a way to how to take down Donald Trump. This is not a secret anymore.
If you're just joining us, hi, welcome.
Wait, let's split it. Let me just we'll sign it off.
No, what I mean is I want to explain some of the things that people who watch us know about the OFA.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
So what I wanted to explain was that Obama has this thing called Organizing for Action
on his website.
He has a video. He's actually working hard. His buddies are coming out. Listen, we're coming out of the closet, and Hillary's coming out of the woods. And right now the Democrats, their job is to crazily put out this Trump-Russia connection. And what I'm going to show you after we go to Nunes and Hannity, the next thing I want to show you is that there is no connection. The House committee grills Comey, grills some other government officials and says, is there any Russia connection? This whole thing is to try to find if there is a Russia connection. You only are supposed to do an investigation when you find some evidence. But instead, Maxine Waters, crazy lady, and everybody else is going around and saying, I know we're going to find this. I know we're going to find this. Honey, you didn't sit down the channel switcher and lose it. Okay, there was no channel switcher to be found. If you don't have a TV and channel switchers, you're not going to find your lost channel switcher. You're so lost in dementia land that you're trying to find something that does not exist. We're going to find it. I know if you keep digging, we'll find it because I know it's there. Do you have any proof? No, I don't have any proof.
There is like looking for the fountain of youth.
So I just wanted to kind of give a few little, in case somebody's just joining us, Obama literally is working. There's globalists working to take down Trump overtime right now because there's been people who have been controlling and moving our government. The Bushes and the Clintons were all moved by movers and shakers, powerful people. And those are the globalists that were taken down. You saw just a piece of it with David Rockefeller. There's so many more foundational things, and this globalist thing, you see it in the EU, you see the evidence of it, you don't see the puppet masters behind it. So people blame, oh, it's the European Union, oh, it's Merkel, oh, it's this. No, there's people controlling them at the top.
Why?
Patriot Gallery.
To enslave everybody.
Just to enslave everybody. And to kill people off.
Right.
One or the other.
No freedom.
Right.
Exactly. All right, you're part of the resistance, stay with us.
All right, you guys, this is Leah Michelle signing off for Resistance Chicks, where it's not a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Leah just said everything else. We'll be back here in a minute. God bless.
I was cold all alone, no place for home every day, so afraid, but you called